My name is Korvac, son of Verowan, strategist caste of the Threx Dominion, bred for calm calculation and unbreakable resolve. For 93 cycles, I had served in the Dominion war engine without experiencing anything close to fear. Threx are not made to fear. We are sculpted from birth, chitin strengthened with metallic infusion, neural inhibitors placed behind the frontal ridges, emotion narrowed to focus and discipline. Fear is wasteful. Fear is inefficient. Or so I believed. The first time I saw humanity, they were losing. Their ships bled fire across the void of Sector 7 Aleph, burning in long trails, as if the vacuum itself resisted letting them go. My division master dismissed them as reckless primitives, too soft-bodied and short-lived to matter. They throw lives at war the way children throw stones into rivers, he said. And yet, those primitives managed to hold our 7th Fleet at bay for 3 cycles, longer than our most optimistic simulations predicted. Their unpredictability disrupted our precision. Their refusal to retreat made our victory inefficient and costly. And then, a single human broadcast altered everything. A transmission erupted across our channels during our 4th offensive sweep. A woman, armored and bloodied, standing on a broken rampart of a ruined colony world. "We are not retreating," she said. "We are not surrendering. If you come to take our home, understand one thing. Humanity does not break. We rise." The division master laughed at this and ordered a renewed assault. But I store that broadcast in my memory. There was something in her eyes, something our species had long ago engineered away, something that unsettled me in a way I could not quantify. When the Dominion High Council decided to place me as liaison to a forced alliance with the humans because a greater, darker threat had emerged on the galactic rim, I accepted. Not out of duty, but out of curiosity. 2. The alliance we didn't want. The Crawl execration arrived like a plague of shadows. Not ships, entities. Swarming masses of hungry void creatures drawn to energy signatures and life itself. They consumed, multiplied, evolved. The Dominion lost 11 worlds in 9 days. Humanity lost 6. Every other species fled. So the unthinkable happened, an alliance between Threx and humans. The Alliance Command placed me aboard the human flagship USC Valiant to coordinate joint operations. I expected disorder. I expected inefficiency. I expected chaos. I did not expect Commander Rhea Hale. She was the woman from the broadcast. She greeted me with a nod, her hair tied back, armor scratched, eyes bright with something dangerously close to defiance. "Korvac, right," she said. "Glad to have you. We could use someone with a brain for strategy." I blinked. All Threx have brains for strategy. Then you'll fit right in. That was my introduction to humanity. Over the next 2 weeks I witnessed them fight, not with the stoic calculation of my people, nor the mechanical efficiency of synthetics, nor the ritualized ferocity of various warrior species. Humans fought like wildfire, sometimes brilliant, sometimes reckless, sometimes terrifyingly inventive. I compiled notes, running simulations of their tactics. None of them predicted what humans actually chose to do. Commander Hale caught me once staring after a squad of Marines arguing over whether to launch themselves out of a ruptured airlock using explosives as propulsion. "Don't bother trying to predict us," she said. "Humans are an improvisational species. That is inefficient. That's why it works." At the time, I thought I understood. I did not. 3. The Battle of Ashen Reach. We discovered the Crawl's next target by accident. A covert swarm had burrowed into the dust clouds of the Ashen Reach Nebula, feeding, multiplying, preparing. If they emerged, they would sweep across 7 inhabited systems. We arrived first. Barely. The nebula was a swirling mass of black particulate, so thick it made even our ship sensors groan in protest. Electrical storms arced across the void in silent webs of blue fire. Human crew members stared out at it in awe. My fleshy human counterpart, Lieutenant Ramos, muttered, "Looks like we're flying into hell." "We do not acknowledge the existence of hell," I replied. She grinned at me. "You will today." The mission. Commander Hale proposed an insane plan. Land a joint strike team inside the nebula's core, plant fusion warheads in the swarm's birthing mass, and detonate the entire region. The risks were astronomical. Casualty projections, 78%. The success rate, 12%. My Threx instincts recoiled. This is unacceptable. No strategist would endorse this. We don't need a strategist, Hale said. We need people willing to stop the end of the galaxy. Her words unsettled me. Yet every simulation of inaction resulted in the same outcome, galactic extinction. I approved the plan. That was the beginning of my mistake and my awakening. 4. Descent into darkness. Our drop shuttle plunged into the black fog of the nebula. Visibility dropped to nearly zero. The hull groaned as tendrils of crawl biomass scraped across it. Something hammered against the metal. Then another. Human Marines steadied their weapons, their breathing sharp but steady. You hearing that? One asked. Keep it together, another replied. I scanned the hull. Crawl drones are attempting to infiltrate. Good, Commander Hale said. Means we're close. Humans, I noted, frequently spoke in contradictions. When the shuttle doors slid open, the darkness swallowed us whole. The ground. We stepped onto a floating mass of organic material, flesh-like, slick, pulsating. The nebula storms echoed through the dark, casting brief flashes of light that illuminated writhing forms, vast tendrils, and clusters of embryonic crawl. The Marines gagged at the smell. My mandibles clicked involuntarily. This entire region has become a womb. A whole nebula turned into a nest, Hale said. We blow it, we save everything. Simple. Horrifying. We moved forward, planting charges across the fleshy terrain. The deeper we went, the more the nebula seemed alive. Whispers, scraping, movements in the dark. A Marine yelled, incoming, and the swarm descended. The first time I felt fear. Crawl drones poured from the shadows, skeletal, spined, eyeless things that moved with fluid, unnatural speed. They screeched with modulated frequencies that burrowed into the bones. The humans formed a line. They always formed a line. Hold! Hale shouted. The first wave hit. Gunfire erupted. Plasma bolts sizzled. My own rifle thumped against my shoulder plates as I fired, each shot calibrated, precise. But they kept coming. The humans shouted to each other, not in terror, but in warning, in urgency and determination. Left flank. Reloading. Grenade out. A Threx mind operates in clean, silent order. But here, amid human soldiers, there was chaos and noise and determination and emotion. And then it happened. A crawl burrowed up directly beneath me, teeth flashing, claws like hooked needles. I turned to fire, but too slow. It lunged, and a human Marine, Private Tessa Lynn, threw herself between us, firing point-blank into the creature's skull. Acidic blood splashed across her armor, eating through plating. She screamed but held the line. I froze. This self-sacrifice was illogical, wasteful, irrational, and yet she did it without hesitation. And that was when something new crept into my chest. Tight, cold, unfamiliar. For the first time in my 93 cycles, I felt fear. Not fear of death. Fear of the loss of these humans who fought beside me. Fear because I did not understand them. Fear that their fire would burn out and leave the galaxy dark. The emotion nearly paralyzed me. Hale saw it. Even in the chaos, she noticed. Korvac, she shouted. With me. Humans, they felt fear every battle. Yet they ran toward the danger anyway. That realization broke me open. I roared, an instinctive, primal Threx sound I hadn't made since hatchlinghood, and plunged into the swarm alongside Hale. We fought as one. Humans and Threx. Fire and steel. Chaos and order. And for the first time in our species' long history, we won together. 6. Into the heart. By the time we reached the central birthing mass, our numbers had halved. Scores of crawl lay dead behind us, but thousands more gathered. The birthing mass pulsed like a giant, living heart the size of a fortress. We plant the last charge there. Hale said, We will not escape in time. I calculated. She smiled, bloodied, exhausted. We'll make a way. Humans always believed in impossible things. We approached the heart. The crawl queen emerged. A colossal skeletal titan with limbs like burning wire and a maw dripping shimmering fluids. Her screech nearly ruptured my auditory membranes. The Marines faltered. I stepped forward. Hale! Go! Plant the charge. What about? I will hold it off. That's suicide. I straightened. Then allow me the honor humanity has shown me. Her expression softened. You've changed. No, I said. I have learned. She nodded, then sprinted for the birthing mass. The queen charged at her. I moved faster than I ever had, throwing myself into the queen's path, firing point blank into her skull, slashing with my secondary blades. For the first time in my existence, I fought not for duty, not for command, but for someone else. Humans had infected me with their irrational bravery, and as the queen's talons pierced my abdomen, I felt no fear, only purpose. Hale reached the core. She planted the charge. Everyone fall back, she shouted. We fled through the collapsing tunnels, the nebula trembling as energy built toward catastrophic release. My vision dimmed. My wound was fatal. A human marine grabbed me under the shoulder plates. Come on, big guy. We do not retreat, I gasped. Yeah, he said, dragging me. Well, humans don't leave anyone behind. 7. Fire in the void. We reached the extraction point, a narrow canyon of flesh and bone where the shuttle waited, engine shrieking. Commander Hale counted heads. Where's Lynn? She shouted. The Marine who saved me hadn't made it. Hale's face hardened. Hurt, anger, grief all at once. Yet she raised her voice. We honor her by surviving. Move! The crawl erupted from the ground behind us as we launched. The shuttle blasted upward, tearing through the birthing mass. Then, white light, silence. A shockwave of pure annihilation expanded outward, shredding the nebula, ripping crawl biomass apart, burning shadow flesh to dust. The shuttle spun, alarm screaming. I felt Commander Hale's hand grip mine. Stay with me, Korvac! I tried. Darkness took me. 8. After the fire, I awoke in a human medical bay, wrapped in regeneration gel and biowebbing. My armor lay beside me, broken, acid-scarred, a reminder of the battle. Commander Hale stood over me, arms crossed. You survived, she said. Determination is contagious, it seems. She laughed softly. The nebula's gone. The swarm's reproductive mass destroyed. We stopped them. We, I echoed. Humanity and Threx, she confirmed. Together. Something stirred in my chest. Pride, perhaps. But another question remained. Hale, during the battle. I felt something. Fear. I nodded. It was overwhelming. She sat beside me. That's normal. Fear means you care. Means you're alive. What matters is what you do after you feel it. And humans fight. Always. I considered her words. Threx were engineered to avoid fear. It was deemed a weakness. Whoever told you that was wrong? Hale looked at me. Fear is the price of having something worth protecting. I closed my eyes. Perhaps that is why humans burn so brightly. 9. The lesson humanity taught me. The Dominion later offered accolades, promotions, commendations. I refused them. Instead, I accepted transfer as liaison officer permanently assigned to humanity's Joint Defense Command. When the Council demanded an explanation, I told them the truth. It was with humans that I learned fear. And through them, I learned courage. If we are to survive what is coming, we need their fire. The Council argued, debated, resisted. Humans, meanwhile, celebrated. They invited me to a memorial for Private Lynn. They spoke her name with reverence, pride, sorrow. I did not understand the human ritual of honoring the dead, but I wanted to. That night, Commander Hale approached me as I stood alone beneath the stars. You did good out there, she said. So did we all. She nodded. What will you do now? Continue fighting. With humanity. She smiled. Good. We could use you. And I realized then, a Threx does not choose a place to belong. Until now. Epilogue. Why I fight with humans. To any who find this account, know this. I am Korvac of the Threx Dominion. I was born without fear. I lived without fear. I believed fear was weakness, until I fought beside humanity. Humans feel fear constantly, and run toward the enemy anyway. Humans grieve, and keep fighting. Humans fail, and rise. Humans are fragile, and somehow indestructible. When I stood in the darkness of the Ashen Reach, facing a queen of nightmares, I felt terror cut through me like a blade. But behind that terror came something else. Something stronger. A human voice shouting, "Hold the line! Keep moving! We survive together!" Humans taught me the truth. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is choosing to fight in spite of it. So now I fight alongside them. And if the galaxy ever again stands on the brink, if shadows rise, if oblivion approaches, know that humanity will stand. And I will stand with them, because the first time I felt terror was the first time I understood what it meant to be alive.